Welcome back, everybody, to PoolieMagTV, the raw, unedited, unscripted NUFC fan channel where everybody's got an opinion and nobody's opinion's wrong. So, today's video is going to be my review of the Tottenham Newcastle game last night. Everybody keeps using the word frustrating. I can think of a few more words than that, but I'm going to keep this, child-friendly tonight. I'm not going to try and swear or boot off or kick off. I haven't had the best of days myself, so the Newcastle, draw isn't the worst thing going on. So I want to give a little bit of a objective review to this, because I was quite raw last night. I was very, very upset with the way we played. Very upset with the way we played. I was listening to some other Newcastle fan channels saying we played well and some of the players played really well, and I'm thinking you can't be watching the same match as me. And I went back and watched the highlights, and I still don't agree with some of their points. So I'm just going to get straight into it. I'm not going to beat around the bush today. I'm tired, and I'm just going to get straight into the video. So, first half, first 20 minutes, we come out, pressed, looked really well, looked effective, whipping balls into the box. Joelinton looked okay. Lewis Hall had Kudus on, Kudus couldn't turn. He had his back to Lewis Hall, and Lewis Hall was just pressing him. Lewis Hall was dominating in the midfield, linking up well with Harvey Barnes, linking up well with Joelinton. But we didn't take our chances. We kept pressing. Murphy whipped in a good ball, about the only good thing he did all night. Voltemara misses it. Voltemara looked like he'd been at the big market all night. Funny side story, I was in an Uber the other night, and one of the Uber drivers, whether it's true or not, said he's from Newcastle. He said he sees the players out all the time. He said they love the light and the nightlife and the party life, and it looked like the full squad had been on the drink the night before. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Whether they do like the party, whether they do like the drink and whatever else, I'm not too sure. Whether he was just thought he knew everything, but that performance, I've got to think he probably is half telling the truth. It was woeful. The first 20 minutes was good, really good actually, and we looked dangerous. And the corners we were doing, weren't great from Tonali, but we put Marley back on them and they looked a little bit better. Sandro Tonali didn't look great. He pulled up with and got substituted. He didn't look great. There's conspiracy theories that he doesn't want to be here no more and that his head's already checked out, and him and Botman, and it doesn't surprise me really the way we played. Doesn't surprise me at all if they did want to leave. It really wouldn't. I'm a little bit deflated myself with this season. Yes, we've had the odd good game, but still on the whole it's been well below par, and that's what the performance was after about 25 minutes. Tottenham just made it a bit of a dogfight. They were dirty, don't get me wrong, but they were tough tackling, they were rough, and our midfield got absolutely bullied. Now I'm going to come on to Lewis Marley, because I heard the Toon review say he played excellent. Where at? He did not play excellent at all. And I'm sick of us, because he's one of our own, bumming this lad up to high heaven. He's a good player, that's it. He offers minimal going forward. He's neat and tidy on the ball in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yard passes. Offers nothing in defence. Has no legs whatsoever. I'm not saying he's not going to grow into a better player, but I'm sick of hearing he's only 19 when he plays bad. But then saying, oh, this guy's a special talent, he's a wonder kid when he plays well. He's either one or the other. Can't be both. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it, Lewis Marley, people who dare to criticise him getting slated. Now, I love Chris off Evermore, and I love Paul off the Toon review. I've got a lot of time for them. I listen to them daily. But I just think they're wrong with this lad. I really do. And I'm not negative. I think he's a good player. Do I think he's a well-beater? Far from it. He played really good against Everton when we were on the front foot. But he's not a player who can handle a dogfight. He got bullied. He looked lightweight. He was getting pushed off the ball. He's passing. Who did he pass to last night that you can even remember? Yeah, they obviously did pass. But what pass did you remember of his last night? Name one, because I can't. Yet Paul said he played excellent. Where at? He didn't play excellent at all. He was anonymous and he was a passenger. Just like Joe Linton was anonymous and a passenger. Joe Linton was terrible last night. His ball retention, if he won a ball, he lost it straight back. He was getting bullied by Benton Kerr. He was. And Romero, they were flooring him. He looks a shell of the player he used to be. He used to be the battering ram, and now he's the one getting battered. Didn't rate his performance whatsoever. But and they started creeping back up in the first half. At the end of the first half, Kudus found it that he could beat all if he faced them on, and he did beat them, and he beat them a few times, and that was a sign of things to come. Tino looked more nervous with having Jacob Murphy there, the headless chicken. I think he pulled an Alba on last night. He just ran around like an headless chicken, doing absolutely nothing of note. Nothing of note whatsoever, and I think it affected Tino's performance. Though going forward, he was still okay, but defensively, he's got a lot to learn. And Chow didn't have his best game either. Neither did Ben, and Ramsdale looked shaky for me. But we go into the second half. He takes Tonali on for Bruno. Bruno lifts the team up. This is where Bruno is great. This is where he is great. He just lifts the team and he drives the team forward. He takes the responsibility of dragging that team forward with him. And he did. And you've seen Miley play a little bit better with Bruno. I even said to my mum, I said, he seems to like playing with Bruno better than he does Tonali. And then Paul come out on the aftermath and said it too. So I agree with him on that. But to say he played excellent is a massive, massive stretch. He should be nowhere near the Burnley game for me. Because that again will be a dogfight for me. So Marley for me shouldn't be nowhere near the Burnley match. No, I'm not saying he's a terrible player. I'm not saying he should never start for Newcastle again. I'm not saying I want shot of him. I'm just saying his skill set does not suit that type of match. And he was a passenger, and he offers little defensively, and offers a little bit more going forward. He does have a shot, but his passing's very sideways or very 2-3 yards. His pass stats will be great, but he never plays a risky pass, does he? Anyway, moving on from Marley. Wasn't his best day. He is still only young. I've never once called him a wonder kid anyway, so I can say he's only young. But I can't stand people who say, oh, this guy's a wonder kid. He's a wonder kid. Oh, he's only 19. Well, you can't have it both ways. I'm sorry, you can't. And anyway, like I say, moving on. Going back anyway, sorry, this is my ADHD kicking in, but going back, why didn't Alanga start? Alanga had his best game in a Newcastle shirt in about 3 months and got dropped for Jacob Murphy. Didn't understand that, and I'm going to get on to how. Say your little thought, my ADHD's all over today, I do apologise, but I just didn't understand that decision. Didn't understand why Murphy got kept on for so long. Really don't. Harvey Barnes played okay, should have scored a few times. But Bruno was the driving force in the second half. Voltemada was off all night, apart from the little flick, I think, that goes to Bruno. And Gordon runs down the wing, passes it in the box. The defender clears it, and I think it comes off Voltemada, a little flick. And then Bruno curls it into the bottom corner. Great goal. Great goal from Bruno. And you're thinking, right, okay, let's keep it tight. Lewis Hall gets done off Kudus, and then Romero gets in front of Dan Burn. Both at fault for me. Both at fault for me for that one. Dan Burn's experience should have come to the forefront then. He should have been in front of, not behind Romero. But Kudus grew into the game, and he gave Lewis Hall some problems that second half. He really, really did. And I thought Hall looked a shadow of the player he was in the first half, because he was direct and he looked well and he was pressing well, but the press fell apart in the second half. We fell apart. We just didn't look like we had any confidence. Then we get a dubious penalty. I think it's a penalty, but we get a dubious penalty, and Anthony Gordon steps up and scores. And you're thinking, right, okay, let's take the scruffy win, because good teams win by playing bad. Let's take the scruffy win. Let's move on to Burnley and make it 4 wins in a row. But no, the ball comes in again for them. Alanga should have. stopped it. Shea should have stopped it. Ben should have stopped it, and so should Chow. This was Chow's, I can't say wet. I don't like to use the term worst because he wasn't bad all night, but it's by far his worst performance in Newcastle shirt for me. He didn't look as solid, although he was a lot more solid than most defenders are. It wasn't a bad performance for him, it just wasn't at his usual level. And when we have a few players that aren't at the usual level, we drop off massively. And so do a lot of teams, to be fair. But Ramsdale flaps at it, and he's there. But to be fair, there was a lot of players in front of him. Wasn't? And then it looks like it's like going through treacle to get in. 4 players should have stopped it, and Ramsdale doesn't see it and dives too late, and it goes into 2-2. And it was just a poor match from 25 minutes onwards from Newcastle. We looked disjointed. Didn't look like we had any rhythm. Didn't look like we had any, nothing. And this is what frustrates me about Eddie Howe. Plays the same systems of play, patterns of play all the time. When they don't work, there's nothing else. There's just nothing else. And it didn't work last night. Jacob Ramsey, I don't know if Jacob Ramsey slept with Eddie Howe's wife or what, because he doesn't seem to be getting a kick. Joe Willock, who I've thought played well the last few times I've seen him, didn't get a kick. Didn't understand his substitutions last night. Why keep Voltemade on? He was clearly struggling. If you think Anthony Gordon's a forward or whatever, play him up front for that, whatever. Or put Barnes up front. Barnes did nothing wrong last night and got hooked for Gordon. I didn't understand it. Elanga come on, but his confidence was shot from being dropped from Murphy. He's on about building momentum, and he has his best game at Everton. He's dropped it against. He can't be tired. He's barely played. So don't get some of his selections. Eddie Howe frustrates the life out of me. He really does, because you just see the same mistakes over. His in-game management is terrible sometimes. However good he was at Everton was how bad he was against Tottenham last night. And Tottenham are not a good team, by the way. Tottenham are woeful, and we should have stuck it to them. Vicario was getting booed off his own fans. He's that bad, and we didn't test him. Apart from the 2 goals we scored, barely testing. Joe Linton hit the bar, but that's not hit the post. Sorry, but that's not testing him. Poor performance and poor in-game management from Eddie Howe. I thought the team selection. I like the fact that he picked a couple of different players, but why drop Elanga? Why drop him? Didn't understand that at all. I thought Tino and all were good going forward. Bit suspect at the back at times, but they're only young. Lewis Miley, absolute passenger last night. Played a little bit better than when Bruno come on, but not for me. Not at the minute. Joe Linton, no. He was terrible. Voltemade looks like he needs a break. I can't wait for Wissett to come back. Just not a good game at all. I am not saying Eddie Howe out. I'm not saying Lewis Miley should never start. I'm not saying I hate Joe Linton. I'm just giving you an objective view. I've watched the match with my own eyes, and this is my truthful opinion. You don't have to agree with it. You can tell me I'm wrong. You can tell me I'm full of shit. I don't really care. That's my opinion. The channel is there to have a bit of banter, so you can have your difference of opinions, but that's my opinion. It was a frustrating match, and we took 2 points away against a terrible Tottenham team. But anyway, hit like, hit subscribe, comment down below if you agree, disagree, or are indifferent. Anyway, keep it black and white and keep it PoolieMagTV. Over and out.